I remember this one guy was like, how are you Spanish and black and you don't have a fat ass? And I was just like, so before I start with the assumptions, I'm just gonna go ahead and like prep my face first. I'm using the Huda Beauty Glow Cocoa Hydrating Mist. This stuff, first of all, it smells so good. Only thing is, I don't know if I have a defected one, but it squirts out like this. Like, it's not like a, you know how you can feel like a circle? It just feels like there's one squirting out here and one squirting out here. It's weird. I'm gonna prime my face with the Huda Beauty Complexion Perfection Makeup Base. This little bad boy right here. I don't have my Hydro Grip right now. I ran out, and like every time I want to go get it from Sephora, I just keep forgetting that like Sephora opens at a certain time now, and there's always like a line. It's just crazy. Like, I miss the days where you can just freely do things. By the way, I got my eyelashes done by my girl Lash Hype LA. She's so good. She always has my eyelashes looking bomb. Everybody always compliments me on them. Every single time I get them done, I always get compliments. They're like, oh my gosh, your lashes look so natural. I'm like, thanks, babe. Today's foundation is going to be a mix of Haileys and also it's the Haileys Marula. I think it might be Marula face oil, tinted face oil in the color light, medium, warm. And then I have the Airbrush Flawless Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury in the color number 10. And this is such a fire, like, matchup collab. So I screenshotted some of them. I had a lot, so I'm just gonna go through them. Like the very first ones that I got that I'm shallow. I'm a shallow person, and I don't disagree. I fully disagree. I don't think I'm shallow. I think I'm very, very down to earth kind of person. Like, if you've ever met me, and I know that this is kind of like, oh, of course I'm not shallow, like, who wants to say, yeah, I'm a shallow person? But honestly, I genuinely, with all my heart, do not believe that I'm a shallow person. I don't value some of the things that I see, you know, that majority of people that have social media followings or whatever the case may be. I don't value, like, that kind of stuff. Every now and then, it's never a bad thing to have, like, nice things. It's never a bad thing to, like, want that for yourself or any of that stuff. But I know that doesn't make me who I am. Like, the things that I can afford or the things that I have, or, you know, like, say for instance, I had a freaking G-Wagon. Like, that doesn't define me as a person. Okay, I've been able to afford a G-Wagon. That's great. But that doesn't make me, like, who I am. My attitude, the way I treat people, you know, like how I treat my family, how I am with my friends and how I treat them is what's important. And I've always been, oh, you know what I forgot to add. It's okay, I'll just add it after. But I feel like my attitude with people and just how I am as a person, my character is way more important to me than the things that, like, I can attain. I don't value money like that. Like, yes, it's important. Yes, it makes such a difference in life, but I've just never been that kind of person. Like, growing up, I didn't realize that I was quote unquote poor, or that my family didn't have it like that. And my mom always told me, like, you know, having designer labels and stuff like that doesn't make you who you are. Like, she's always instilled that in me. And then when I got older, I was like, oh, like, when people would make me feel like a way about not having certain things, I was like, oh, but I thought that doesn't make you who you are. But in our society, it's kind of like that's the thing that's praised the most. It's like what you have and what you can attain and all of those things. I realized that the more I was able to get those things, the more, like, it doesn't really matter. In a sense, like, it just doesn't. It makes me happy. I love getting things. I love being able to buy stuff that I want. And I'm not talking down anybody that, you know, is that believes that those things make them who they are. But for me, it doesn't. It never really has. Like, if I could sit here and like show you guys all the things that I have, and like, it's just like, I don't know. I don't feel like that's just necessary. I don't know. I don't, maybe that's just me. I don't know. I feel like I'm talking in circles right now, but I just feel like, you know, those things just aren't as important. Like, I am about that life. And if anytime at any point, I've always told my family, like, get me together if I'm ever acting out, okay? If I'm ever acting like I forgot where I came from, because I don't ever want to turn into like just a shallow person. I just don't. I don't. And I know the people I got around me will do that. They'll be like, girl, you need to get it together. Stop acting like that. Someone else said, you procrastinate on your music. I would say that's definitely an assumption, because if it were up to me, my music would have been out by now. There's only so much I can really say legally, but I'm going to add like a little spot conceal. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Magic Way Liquid Concealer in the color number 10 as well. Yeah, like I said, if it was up to me, my project would have been out, or at least I would have had music out by now. One, I feel like what really turned me away from putting out music was the pandemic, and then I was still trying to figure out how that was all going to work, because everybody was like home, everybody was not trying to be outside and work and stuff like that. Now it's a little bit different, because I feel like people feel a little bit more comfortable with being outside. I wasn't even in the headspace, because it was just all this stuff was happening. I was just like, do I even want to really put out a project? Like, Tui, get away from the window. Get away from the window. Come over here. I just didn't really personally want to put out anything. I was feeling kind of down about it, honestly. But it wasn't procrastination. It was just like timing. And then now that things are the way that they are now, where everybody's kind of like still putting out their projects and things like that, now it's more so of a legal thing. So I'm just going to say a little bit about it. It's kind of like, it's been going on for quite a while, but just trying to get everything legally, everybody on the same page, come to an understanding and agreement has been very difficult. And it wasn't the way that, I thought things were going to go, but I feel like we finally have come to some type of understanding. So it's not as it's to me, I feel like it's like we've finally come to a common ground. So hopefully, very soon, hopefully I can put out a single and we can move forward with, putting out the entire project, because I really want you guys to hear it. And I just kind of want to get this portion of my life over with, because I honestly am mentally in a different space than I was when I first put this project out. And if I don't put this body of work out, it's just not going to it's just gonna kind of be a waste, and I'm not even in this headspace anymore. Like, when I did this project, it was over a year ago. It's almost been 2 years since I've started on it, and it's like, it's just crazy. It's really crazy. But I mean, what can we do? We can't help that, the world is changing right now and all that. So I hope that gives you more of an understanding as to why the music has been out. It's not necessarily something that I would have, it would have been out by now. It would have been out by now. But things are just the way they are. Life happens like how it happens. And, I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm not going to rush anything. It's just going to happen the way it's supposed to. But I'm definitely not procrastinating on it. It's not like something I'm like, oh, I don't want to put it out. Like, that's not the case. It's definitely because there's other aspects and stuff to it that, unfortunately, I can't really share. But just know that I want to put this music out and have you guys hear it just as much as you want to. So there's that. Somebody said they made the assumption that I'm shy. And I'm only shy, like, initially, but after you get to know me, I'm very, very, like, open and, like, very extroverted. I'm only introverted when I feel uncomfortable. So if I don't talk very much or I seem kind of distant, I don't feel comfortable. I find that the older I get, I'm just more of like an observer. And especially when I'm just kind of like not feeling the energy or I'm not feeling somebody, I just get really quiet and I just like kind of not be as like outgoing. I'm like introvert, extrovert, depending on the setting. Like, that's just how it is. Someone says I have a fitness routine. I don't actually. I feel like, one, I know that my body needs it, but I wish I could just like get my body done to how I want it. Just have like a little bit of like a little bit more hips, and some abs, and I'll be done. I'll just get like some cute little abs, not even get them like implanted, but like just take some of the fat away, get my ab situation like, you know, right, and then like just give me like some little more hips. I'll be okay. I'll be fine. But honestly, I don't have one, but I really do want to get into fitness. Like, I know that if I was into fitness, my body would be crazy. Like, it would be perfect. It would literally be perfect. So I'm just going to stop trying to play myself, I guess, and just finally really get into the gym. It's just like a mental thing, honestly. But yeah, I don't have a fitness routine. I do not work out. My body is just naturally like pretty slim. I would say like fit. It's naturally fit, but I mean, I do have like cellulite. I do have that. I do have dents and regular stuff that women have. I have stretch marks, like I have all that. But, you know, I'm working with what God gave me, so I'm not mad at that. The next assumption is that I'm biracial and mixed. So my dad is from Puerto Rico. My mother is Black and Native American. I don't even like saying Native American. I just like saying Native because they were the first ones here anyway. She's Native. So yes, I guess you can consider me biracial. But a lot of the times when people ask me like what I am, I do just say I'm Black because I don't know how to explain it. But like basically it's like I could be Asian descent, but I don't really know any of my, I never grew up around that. Like I never had that kind of, I never understood the culture or things like that. So it's kind of hard for me to say like I identify as something that I've never really understood or, you know, grown up around. Like that's not something that I can relate to or understand or whatever, even though that's a part of like, say that's a part of my, I'm just using this as an example, but say that's a part of my, you know, heritage. I don't really relate to it because I've never really grown up around it. So that's kind of like how it feels. Like when people ask me like, well, what are you? I'm just like, I'm Black because that's all I've really known. Like that's all I've been that's all I've been accustomed to. That's all I've grown up around. Kind of identify with my Latin heritage, but at the same time, it's almost like I don't speak Spanish. And I grew up a little bit around my dad's side of the family, but not really. So I've just only known my mom's side. And that's why I feel like I just gravitate to more. It's just like that side of who I am, my family and stuff like that. So people keep asking me about a certain person in my comments and ask me if I get along with this certain individual. And when I basically what I decide to do on my platform is not really engage in drama. Right now I'm using the Nastaha Denona bronze palette. I'm just going to bronze up my face right now. Kind of running really fastly through this right now. It's kind of crazy. I'm just not going to like bring more drama to the situation. It's obvious that there's like a, you know, it's obvious, but like I'm just not going to harp on the situation and talk about it and cause more problems towards it. I'm just not going to like indulge in the conversation. Like I'm just not going to talk about it, and I'm not going to bring any more attention to it because it's just too many moving parts, and I'm not about to like just go through some shit just for people to just know what's happening. Like I'm just not about to do that to myself, and I'm not about to do that to like other people. So I get that question quite a lot, and the answer is I'm just not going to talk about it because that's just not the kind of person I am. Like, you won't just see me talking or like, bringing up drama onto my channel because I just don't... I don't do that. I just don't do that. That's not this kind of platform. I want to keep my own sanity, my peace, and I'm not going to, like, bring that kind of stuff to myself when I really don't have to, you know? So that is the answer to that question. Y'all can keep asking, but you'll never know. I try to stay as unproblematic as possible for my own sanity, not for other people, just because I don't want to deal with it. So there's that. Nastaha Denona blush right here. I'm just gonna take that onto my beauty sponge. Ooh, I got quite a bit on it. We're kind of moving backwards. I usually go into my eyes next, but whatever. Which brings me to another assumption. People say that I don't like to talk about certain topics because I'm scared of being canceled or something like that. It's not even that. Like, I don't mind talking about racial subjects or the things that are going on right now in this country. Like, I don't mind talking about it. If you follow me on Twitter, you should know that I don't have a problem with speaking about stuff like that. I feel like my point of view is actually a lot of other people's point of view as far as like the inequality that goes on. Talked about it plenty of times. I don't mind diving into, you know, the things that I personally believe that are true. Like, I don't mind doing that. So I don't know why that's an assumption, but I mean, it doesn't bother me to talk about certain things like that. Like, I'm just not afraid to do that. Somebody said that you are sensitive and don't like upsetting people. And you are on the money. You are on the money. I don't like upsetting people. I get really scared. Not scared, but I get really like... I'm still sensitive to other people's feelings. I'm sensitive myself, but I'm sensitive to others. Like, if I say something or do something and it wasn't my intention or I wasn't trying to, like, hurt their feelings or something, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, and I don't like making people mad. People pleasing is a very slippery slope, okay? It's a very slippery slope. Right now I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk palette, and I'm using this color right here in the dusk quad or whatever section area, whatever. It bothers me if I did something to somebody and it wasn't my intention. And I'm like, oh my God, no. I'm so sorry. Like, don't be mad at me. Somebody said I was popular in high school. I actually was not popular in high school. Quite the opposite. I got bullied a lot in high school from girls that were supposedly my friends. And it affected me for a while. Now I just feel like whatever, but that bothered me because I was just like, again, a people pleaser. Like, I just wanted everyone to like me, and I wanted to be liked, and I wanted people to, you know, I wanted to fit in with everyone, and I wanted to be accepted and all those things. And the older I got, I was like, nigga, that does not even matter. But I went to a very small high school anyway. But yeah, I just wasn't one of the popular kids. That I was not. Even though I do have a big following, if you're like close friends with me, you guys know, they know that I'm just like still like a nerdy kid. Yeah, I was not cute, okay? And I had really bad acne. I was just I was not that girl back then, okay? Listen, like, what? But yeah, I don't have naturally straight teeth. My teeth have always been a little bit crooked, and I had to get braces. Fortunately, thank God I got braces, because I can only imagine what my teeth would have looked like at this moment. It's so funny, though. After I got braces, I was like, okay, once I get my teeth straight, everything will be okay. And then that's when body dysmorphia popped in, and I was just like, oh, well, my body's not like how I want it to be. I don't have a big butt and blah, blah. I remember this one guy was like, how are you Spanish and black and you don't have a fat ass? And I was just like, like, it didn't help. It didn't happen to me. It didn't happen. You know, God was like, you don't even need to worry about that right now, sweetheart. Somebody said that I'm battling immense insecurity even though you're so beautiful and talented. I don't appreciate y'all reading me for filth. Like, thank you for the compliment, but I don't think like I said before, I don't think I'm overtly insecure. I don't think that. Like, damn. I think that, like, I'm just nervous. I think I'm nervous. But, like, I don't... Listen. Let me tell y'all something that's kind of embarrassing, but I'm just going to be, like, open and honest with you guys. So, obviously, you guys know that I'm an influencer. Like, this is something that I do. Like, whatever. But I've had people, like... be like, oh, you're just an IG girl, like, how can you do music? And it affects you. Like, it just makes you think like you're just boxed into this like stereotype of like, oh, you're just like an IG girl, you don't really have talent. Basically, that's like a roundabout way of people saying it. And that has been told to me like 2 or 3 times, and it just, I know that this is like a test for me to just show that obviously I'm more than that. I'm obviously aware of that. Like, I know that I am. I'm not going to be boxed in by anybody's means besides my own. Like, I can only box myself in. Like, I can only do that to myself. Nobody else can do that to me. So I had to realize that, and it's taken me a while because it's just frustrating. It's like having someone just kind of like doubt you. And you know that you're more than that, but unfortunately it's not how you want to be perceived. Like, you know that that's not you, but it's being told that way. It's being looked at that way. And you're like, how do I change that narrative? Obviously you change it because you can do it. It's you. But it's just frustrating have people like put you in that box. Like, oh, you can only do this certain thing. So if that's being read off as insecurity, maybe whatever. But it's like, it's just frustrating it's just this whole, guys, trying to do 2 careers at once is just fucking difficult. Like, it's just hard, and I'm trying to navigate it the best way that I know how. But, you know, sometimes it's very frustrating to constantly have to prove yourself to yourself and to other people that you can do this shit. Like, you can actually do it. It's, oh, God. It's hard, okay? It's frustrating. Not going to get emotional about it, but it's just a difficult thing. But I'm going to get through this. Like, I'm going to see the other side. I am. I can do this. Someone said, am I embarrassed about my natural hair? No, actually, I love my natural hair. Do I wear it out often? Absolutely not. Because I want it to be healthy, one. I do take care of it under this. Like, you know, I wear my hair slicked back. I wear it, you know, with my wigs and my braids and all that stuff. But I'm not ashamed of my hair texture or how my hair is. I love how it looks. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, I'm fine with that. It's just the matter of me trying to just keep it protected because I've ruined it so many times. I've had relaxers. I've had it break off. Like, just constantly effing up my hair. So I'm trying to do it the best way I can and just protect it. Don't do me. Don't do me. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of my hair. Someone else said, you truly value your privacy, and I mean your relationships, etc. That's good. Absolutely, I value my privacy. I do not tell y'all about, I mean, I do talk about my relationship, like, here and there. I do talk about, you know, Jermaine, and I do open up about that kind of stuff or whatever. But for the most part, I don't like to just put my stuff out there like that. I just don't. It's so much easier to have a relationship in private than have everybody know about your relationship. I'm about to set this makeup too. Okay. I mean, I'm obviously proud to be in a relationship. Like, I love who I love or whatever. And I keep my relationships pretty private because, sorry to say this, but people feel entitled to know about so many aspects of your life. And say something goes wrong, they want to know why. And, like, they want to be all up in your business. And it's just annoying. Like, the less I put out about my personal business, the less that people feel entitled to know certain things about you. And maybe that makes me boring. I've gotten that. Maybe that makes me a boring person, but I promise you, I love every bit of it because it makes me feel more comfortable not having to tell people about my personal life. And when stuff is not going the way that it should be going, people don't even realize. I don't even know what's going on because you haven't opened that door for people to just step in and feel like they need to know X, Y, and Z about you. Like I said, that might make me unrelatable. That might make me boring. That might make me a lot of things. But I value my space more than some attention on social media. Love everybody. Like, I love y'all to death, but I can't. You know, there's just certain things that you just have to keep to yourself. And it's okay to have boundaries. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I think people on social media feel like they have to, like, be so, you know, like, they have to tell everything, but you really don't. I don't know. That's just me, though. I'm not even, like, shading nobody. I'm just saying, like, that's what I've seen, like, across the board. Like, people get upset when everybody's in their business and feel like nobody's entitled to it. But it's like, you put it out there. What do you expect for people to do? Not ask. Hair is from Silk Mist on Instagram. They reached out to me and they're like, we want to send you some hair. So I was like, I'm down. I'm trying to get better at my wigs. Let me know down in the comments if I did a good job, because y'all know I'm not really like... I'm trying to be that girl when it comes to wigs, but I'm really not that girl right now. Like, I'm like getting there, but I'm not that girl yet. Like, I'm trying to be like on Arnell, Aaliyah's face, like, level of slaying wigs. Like, they just do good every single time. It's so crazy. All right, so that's the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you guys have any more questions down below, I guess we can talk about it. I will see you guys in my next video. Let me know, guys, what you want to see next in my next video, by the way. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.